Thanks for coming on, BP.
Yeah, baby. Thanks for coming on, BP. Indeed, Andy.
Are we live? Do we start the show?
Here we
Welcome
go.
to WagerTalk Today,
Let's do
the
it.
gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. Dan, we have a World Cup game that's starting. It just started, and we're going to run a quick little contest for it. So here's what we're going to do. If 2 goals are scored while we're live on the show, we're going to give away a 3-day pass. So if we can get 2 goals in this England-Congo game while we're recording live on WagerTalk Today, we're going to have everyone leave their WagerTalk username in the comment section, and we'll give away a 3-day pass. How about that? Start off the show.
They better get scoring, Andy, because it's 2 guests on the show here today. We have Brian Power and we have Ski, and neither of those gentlemen are too loquacious. So you better hope that the 3 Lions get going here. If 2 goals are scored while we are on air, and we'll share that with you, drop in the comments below, include your WagerTalk username, and boom, you'll be entered in to win a free 3-day flex pass. We have flex passes to give away, Andy, because Mexico, it was never even a game. They're blowing the vuvuzelas, the fireworks, the drums outside the Ecuadorian hotel. It worked out wonderfully for Mexico because Ecuador was not ready to play a football game last night, and they get banged up. So we're going to give away a free 3-day flex pass for that. We also have a Dinger Tuesday winner. So Andy, we got a great show coming your way here on a Wednesday. But what we do, minute 30 in here, we got to get that play of the day going. Cashed another one yesterday, brother. Let's stick with the diamond. Where are we going?
We're going to take a little over here on the Diamondbacks and the Giants. This has been a struggle for these 2 pitchers, so we're going to take advantage of it. And these two teams have been putting up runs in this series. So we'll start with Trevor McDonald pitching for the Giants. He's really gotten beaten up the last 3 starts, 12 innings, 16 hits, 10 earned runs, and it's just been a disastrous season for Zach Gallen. This month alone, 27 innings, 40 hits, and 25 earned runs. And the series has produced runs. They scored 10 combined last night, scored 9 combined 2 nights ago. So we're going to jump on the over 9.5 total runs in this game. Couple of bad pitchers. They're not bad pitchers. It's not been a good year at all. Tokyo Brandon has said he just thinks Zach Gallen's done, completely washed. So let's jump on board the over train in this series.
I don't miss the Gallen days. That is certainly for sure. But let's ride with the over. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Andy. Let's get some runs going. Get some runs going on a Wednesday. I like it.
So I have a buddy who's got a friend from Ecuador, and the game was supposed to start at 9 p.m. Eastern at my time, and he was like, we're going to this little bar. Let's get there at 8. And I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, there will be no seats in Ecuador, Mexico at 8 o'clock, sir. So I got there, and sure enough, there were no seats, and they were like, I can't believe it. It was like, are you guys serious? So we found a spot, and then the game gets delayed by an hour.
Oh, yikes.
And because the
Boys
game
are getting banged up.
We were getting banged up. I've got to host the show. So I'm like, I was only going to stay for the first half for the game anyway. Now it's over. Now it's delayed an hour. So now we're getting banged up. We're out. I'm out later than I wanted to be. And because I forgot about it, I got a parking ticket because I forgot to go feed the meter afterwards. It was basically a disastrous night for your boy in the Ecuador-Mexico game. So, a game we didn't have a play in, a bet in, and yet cost me a lot of money.
Well, it wasn't as bad of a night as the Ecuadorians had, Andy. So
it was rough.
You got to trade off there. I mean, it was. I was worried once the delay happened because I was like, oh man, now that crowd that's already going to be raucous is only going to be a little bit rowdy after some extra cervezas. And I'll tell you what, hearing the crowd when a host nation scores in the World Cup, there are few things more electric than and especially at that Stadio Azteca, man. I should have really thought about that a little bit more of how they have played there. The fact that all the news stories about the fans camping out outside the Ecuadorian hotel, Ecuador just wasn't ready to match that energy level that Mexico came out with. And by the time they settled in, it was too late because the frenetic pace that Mexico played with, they're going to be a tough out for anyone, especially when they're playing at home, man. That was it. That was the first time that I had to eat my words and be like, wow, this Mexico team actually is impressive, even if I thought they were kind of over exceeding expectation. That home soil is no joke, man.
Quentin, the parking ticket's only $20. It's not that big of a, not that. Appreciate the offer.
We can maybe get you a flex pass.
I'll tell you what, hope for 2 goals. Quentin, if we have 2 goals, I'll give you a 3-day flex pass. So let's bring in Brian, and let's see if Brian is really a man of the people, if he really extends his segment to try and get as much time in this England.
BP.
Just talk really slow and keep rambling on. Brian, happy Wednesday. How are you?
Thank you for having me, guys. I am known for rambling, so I'll see what I can do. I'll tell you what, though, judging from everything I've read, analyzed, handicapped about the England-Congo match, 2 goals. No one's expecting anything from the Congo. All I have seen is every single person betting England to win to 0 in this match. So,
well, they just lost their bet because as long as it's not disallowed, Congo just scored. So
wow.
They said, forget you. So as long as it's not disallowed.
I'm just telling you everything I read and what happens. Hey, what happens whenever everyone says something, Dan?
That's why I didn't bet this game. I'm right there with you, especially because this England side, when you have a team. Yeah, you have this team that can just like sit back in a low block. Like England historically has struggled with that, and good counterattack there by Congo. So we're not going to live tweet the game here, folks, but we do have a promotion going on that if you're tuning in live here or you're watching on the rewatch, if there were 2 goals in the first half while we were on air here, you can comment your WagerTalk username after the show goes live, and you'll be entered in for a free 3-day flex pass. I didn't have Congo getting the first goal.
No, I'll say everybody in the chat can thank me for bringing that up, that everyone was saying England wins the 0 now, because I think it's got a real shot of hitting now that Congo's not, because that's the thing. I was thinking, look, England's going to have to score twice. So, guys, I'll see how long I can talk and maybe help you out.
It was he was talking to Andy. That was
it was I got to tell you, this is just another one. The public, I think, is just getting murdered in this World Cup. Like you said, Brian, that's all we've seen. England to win by 0, and it's just the books have to be cleaning up. The books have to be just absolutely killing everyone in this one. So I'll let you guys talk about the USA Bosnia and MLB. So but great timing, BP. That was an all-time moment.
That was an all-time BP moment. He's like, a lot of people are saying 1-0 and they score. And again, we are not all of those people. I didn't have a bet in that game. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a bet on this one either, man. This USA and Bosnia game, all the odds you see here, a prohibitive favorite for USA, -600 in some spots to advance here. That's how I expect this to go. But this Bosnia team, give them credit, man. If it weren't for how they restructured this tournament, though, this wouldn't even be a match, right? Bosnia would not have qualified in any other World Cup. So here's the toss up for you, Bri. How do you figure this one out? It's hard for me to find a bet on this one.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have a kind of a good feeling how it's going to go, but let's take that and try to find a bet here. Look, I get, Dan, that the U.S. has just one World Cup knockout win in its history, and that was back in 2002 against Mexico. But this is a situation where they deserve to be heavy favorites against the Bosnian side that checks in at number 61 in the FIFA World Rankings. You mentioned how, if it wasn't for the new format, Bosnia wouldn't be here. This is Bosnia's first ever appearance in the knockout stage of a World Cup, guys. The 4 teams, if you look at those FIFA World Rankings, and I'm not saying the FIFA World Rankings are the end-all, be-all, but let's just look at them for a second. The 4 teams ranked directly above Bosnia are Tunisia, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Uzbekistan. That quartet combined for exactly 0 wins in the group stage, and they were all sent packing as a result. Wouldn't you know? Bosnia, their one win in the group stage. Who did it come at the expense of? Qatar. That was a 3-1 final. XG numbers, if you crack open the box score, show Bosnia was pretty fortunate to win by that score, or at least score 3 times. They created fewer than 1 expected goal for the entire match. The other positive result Bosnia got was a 1-1 draw against in the opener against Canada. I thought they were a little fortunate there as well. In between the draw against Canada and the win over Qatar, the Bosnians took a heavy 4-1 defeat to Switzerland. All 3 matches, they finished below 1.0 expected goal. Now, do I want to lay the -1.5 with the United States here, guys? No, not really. The Americans did beat Paraguay by 3 goals, Australia by 2 goals, but it's the knockout stage, tough to win by margin. Laying -1.5, as you guys know, is also just really not something I am apt to do very often. So how should we bet on this match tonight? That's what you guys are all asking. I like both teams to score, believe it or not. I did just note Bosnia were a little fortunate in the goal scoring department, at least according to the XG numbers during the group stage. But let's go back and look, guys. 11 of their last 12 matches overall have seen the both teams score prop cash. Similarly for the U.S., 13 of the last 17 have seen both teams score cash. U.S. put up 2 goals themselves in all 3 of their group stage matches. So, Dan and Andy, we could get a little greedy, perhaps. Don't want to get greedy, but both teams to score and over 2.5. This has taken money throughout the morning. It's now down to +125 at DraftKings. It was +145 when I recorded with Zinno a few hours ago, the morning wager. But the bottom line is this, okay? I said I have a good feel for how I think this match ends. U.S. 2-1, I think, is the final. That feels right to me. The U.S. should dominate possession. Don't be surprised if they score off a high turnover. They're a good counter-pressing team. Bosnia, they committed a fair number of high turnovers against Canada and Switzerland. So if they turn it over, U.S. can make them pay in the final third. But where the U.S. needs to be careful, Dan, and I think where Bosnia can get a goal, set piece. That's how they scored against Canada. They do have the height advantage. So I think the U.S. wins, but both teams to score at over 2.5 is my recommendation here on this fine program.
Well, and one thing that I'll say too, BP, because I was eyeing that both teams to score as well, and it makes sense, throwing in that 2.5, it opens up that nice, 2-1 score line that could certainly happen here for the U.S. Is both of these teams, if you just blindly bet both teams to score, you're cashing in 80% of USA teams as of late. Bosnia, 90% of those games. So all the metrics say the same, and the price isn't really all that awful on it. You also look at that clean sheet that the United States men's team had against Australia. Australia is known as a defensive nation. It's not really much counterattack either. So this one makes a lot of sense for me. The way I attacked it, just to find some plus money, 5 of the goals that Bosnia has allowed in this tournament have come after the 75th minute. And I think the goal for them is not let what happened in Mexico and not let them get jumped on early, right? So maybe they do lay back in their own end for a little bit here. So I'm going to take the second half to be the higher scoring out of the 2 half. You're getting around +115 at that. So that's how I would bet the game tonight. But I like that both teams to score as well. Throw that 2.5 to make it an even more manageable price. I like the breakdown there, Brian. You in playing anything in the World Cup tonight?
Well, I do have one play. I have a best bet. If some of you guys may have gotten it already, it was available as part of $5 Tuesday yesterday, but it's still hanging out there. You can get it. Here's the thing. You can get it with my baseball play. Both plays go in the afternoon. I got a 2-for-1 combo this afternoon. You can go. We had a 7-0 run snapped last night, unfortunately, guys, but we're going to start a new streak today. Still number 1 with MLB totals this season. Have not lost any of my last 8 World Cup selections. Oh, by the way, let's not bury the lead. 6 wins, 2 pushes. We've got a best bet going today, along with a Major League Baseball total. WT.buzz/BP. You can get both plays for just $29. Don't forget 6 days for $69 as well. Still available.
Bang. Love it, BP. Celebrate Canada Day and ride with BP, even though he's not Canadian. Have to mention it's Canada Day. It is Canada Day after all, BP. Happy Canada Day.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned in the chat, very good mention, that it is Bobby Bonilla Day as well, as he continues to get paid for that incredible contract he signed with the Mets Lobos many years ago. You were probably a wee boy when that happened, Dan. Huh?
Just a wee boy, just a wee lad. But Bobby Bonilla Day doesn't mean anything when it's Canada Day. Today is Canada Day. That's why we're wearing our red, of course. It's Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. All right, let's talk Cincinnati and the Milwaukee Brewers here, Bri. This one, little intriguing as far as you shape this one up. Really intriguing to see that Milwaukee's only minus 155, despite the fact that they have been beating Cincinnati's ass. That feels short for me here, man. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'll talk about that money line price in just a second, but I think it's really interesting that each of the first two games of the series saw the over take money throughout the day, yet both games ended up staying under the closing number. Monday was a 5-3 final, total close 9. Tuesday was 7-2, total close 9.5. Brewers won both of those games, as you alluded to, Dan, tonight. This one's on ESPN, so you can watch it. They're going to look to make it 3 in a row, the Brew Crew, over the division rival Reds. For the record, this series wraps up tomorrow. We're going to have an outstanding pitching matchup tomorrow. Chase Burns and Jacob Misiorowski, perhaps 1 and 2 there, with Misiorowski being 1 in the NL Cy Young race. But for tonight, Andrew Abbott and Shane Drohan. Guess what? The over's taken money again. You look at the odds screen, totals move from 8.5 to 9. Milwaukee, you mentioned, a decent-sized favorite on the money line, but perhaps should be even bigger. I imagine, Dan, the Brewers will win this game. I actually have them currently power rated as the second best team in all of baseball, behind only the Dodgers. So I hold them in a high regard. And boy, as you alluded to as well, do the Brewers love facing the Reds. 50-19 the last 69 meetings is Milwaukee. They've really had Cincinnati's number. Perfect 5-0 head-to-head this season. Overall, Cincy has really struggled, guys, this year in division games. How about a 4-19 record against the rest of the NL Central? That's the worst division record of any team in baseball. I'm sure Kirk Herbstreit is currently firing off some angry tweets somewhere about that. I don't know what's gotten into Kirk recently. Guy's posting like a angry guy on the community Facebook page. But anyway, I digress. Brewers are going to win here, I think, but I think that elusive over comes in as well. We know the Brewers can score, guys. Third highest scoring team in all of baseball. Here in Milwaukee, which, of course, is Algonquin for the good land, that scoring average jumps to 5.3 runs per game. Tonight, the Brewers are going to face Andrew Abbott, who I mentioned. He generally allows a lot of contact. 4 runs allowed his last time out. That was in Pittsburgh. Also, Milwaukee has generally not been the good land for Abbott. He has a 5.23 ERA. 4 previous starts here. The Reds bullpen, it stinks. We all know this. 6th highest ERA in baseball. So the over, I guess, comes down to the Reds getting to 4 runs. Seem fair to me. They've only done that once against the Brewers this season, but wouldn't you know, Dan and Andy, the one time the Reds got to 4 runs against the Brewers, who started for Milwaukee? It was the rookie Shane Drohan. Now, Drohan threw 4 1/3 scoreless innings, so it wasn't his fault. But note the inefficiency. 98 pitches to get through those 4 1/3 innings. So the fact he didn't give up a run, maybe it's a little fortunate. 4 of the 5 games Drohan has started have seen 11 or more total runs scored. Dan, I like the over here in the Reds and Brew Crew.
Just touched 9 last night, as you alluded to there as well. And if you're looking to back the Cincinnati Reds, I believe it would be the first time that they won since September of 2025 against this Brew Crew. So just throwing that out there, folks. Just throwing that out there. That minus.
It'll happen eventually, I suppose. They're not going to lose every game until the end of time to Milwaukee.
Yeah, exactly. But we're looking at the over, sitting at that key number of a 9. BP, we already talked about what you have up. You can remind folks one more time, wt.buzz/BP, and also remind them what they should be starting off their morning with every morning. A bran muffin, a nice black coffee, maybe a morning constitution, and the morning wager here.
Yeah, something like that. Not necessarily in that order, but as long as you do all those things, you're going to be A-okay, guys. Yeah, new episode of the Morning Wagers out. Mark Zinn and I broke down today's entire baseball card, all 3 World Cup matches as well. Mark has inexplicably gotten into the World Cup. He's doing quite well in it. I mentioned earlier, I'm doing quite well in the World Cup. We're on a 100% run, 6 wins, 2 pushes our last 8 plays. We're at 70% for the entire tournament. 7-1 overall, guys, the last 4 days. That's between baseball and the World Cup. We're number 1 with Major League Baseball totals this year. You go back a ways, 80-51 all sports run. So we start a new streak today, and you can do it with 2 plays. 1 in Major League Baseball. It is a total. Again, number 1 in totals. And then we have a best bet in the World Cup. Go 2-0 with me today. WT.buzz/BP, just $29 to get on board for the day, $69 for 6 days. And if anyone's going to the Cleveland Guardians game this afternoon, braving the heat, I will be there. I don't know how long I'm going to stand and bake in the sun. I think I might head out to the former Terrace Club, which is now a bar, and hang out in the cool, but I'll be there. So Rangers Guardians, say hi.
Hey,
you're
Brian,
so
you got to give us a home run pick. Dan has a rule that if he attends a baseball game, he has to have a little pick on someone to hit a home run. Do you actually do you have a home run?
Well, when I go to a game, I generally root for no one to hit home runs and no one to score. So that's fun. Dan and I should go to a game and live stream it and just root for different things. That would be fun.
Now that I'm on the East Coast with you, Brian, we actually should do that. That would be a lovely
Pittsburgh, I guess, right? Isn't that kind of in the? I don't.
Yeah, that could be equidistance for us. But
Altoona, we can catch a minor league game called Trig. I don't know. All right.
All right. Now you're starting to lose.
I'm sorry. Okay,
now you're starting.
I apologize. I got too aggressive there. I'm sorry. John, look, Peterson. What? He's homered 5 times in the last 6 games. 4 times in the last 5 games. What's he going to keep hitting home runs? I don't know. Look, I will let everyone know. I joked about braving the heat. It'll be interesting because normally when you have these hot temperatures, we saw all the high totals yesterday and all the overs, ball carries. But here's the issue with this Rangers Guardians game. For the ball to carry, that would require making contact with the baseball, Andy. The Cleveland Guardians are not good at doing that with the bat. This lineup is absolutely putrid. So I apologize. I know that was a long-winded response to say, no, I don't have a home run prop for you. Maybe Peterson. He's the guy swinging at best for Texas. No, Seager's not playing either for Texas, I believe. So there we go.
Okay, so you said who do you lean? Peterson?
Jacques Cousteau.
Okay, yes. All right. Here, Peterson hits a home run, 3-day pass. There you go.
And he's just like Oprah in this shit. He's like, you get a free 3-day flex pass. You get a free. I like it.
Well, we had 81 comments and only 1 dinger yesterday, so
impressive.
we're trying to spice it up here. So, good stuff, Brian. Good stuff, man.
I try,
dude. Pony up at the bar. Don't sit in the stands and bake, man. At that
I know.
Game.
I baked Monday. My daughter was giving me some hell about not hanging out with her enough and watching too much soccer, so I took her to the water park at Cedar Point and I baked there. So I'm already. I don't know if you noticed. I have a little more color on the
Cedar Point, fantastic water park. Fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Park.
Yes, it was. It was a lot of fun. So it was a lot of fun too because I went 4-0 on Monday. It was even better for that. So, but again, lost last night. New streak starts today.
All right, let's do it. Brian Powers.
Did England score? I talked as long as I could. I don't have the score up while I was talking because
they got a yellow card. Oh. Yeah, they got a yellow card. So
I tried, gang. I tried. ESPN. I'm not slighting anybody or anybody's web production, but ESPN, their score tends to slow down my feed.
It does. I will say, you know how they do the the match momentum, and they show you who has the momentum in the match. There's a lot of red on this chart. That's all I will say. Is there's a lot of red, and England, of course, sporting the red. So BP, we know you got to run. Enjoy the game. Always a pleasure, my friend, and we'll see you next time, brother. Thank you.
All right. Tip your drivers. I'll tell you. Tip your bartenders too. I'll see you guys at the game.
All the above. All the above.
All right. Well, here, Johnny, listen, I'm sorry, but it was just too funny. Dan, I have to point this out. All right. So in our live chat, Sports Dad says Happy Canada Day.
I noticed the same thing.
At 12:08, and then at 12:09, he said, crazy how many Canadian subscribers and Wager Talk doesn't do more to celebrate this. And at 12:10, Johnny posts in our Slack, Happy Canada Day.
I wasn't going to bring it up because I know that we're going to Detroit next week and we're going to be hanging with one Johnny Detroit. So I wasn't going to mention it, but I did notice the correlation there. And we see that Johnny is in the live chat. Give a shout out. And Johnny also did make a special for Andrew. Maybe we'll get something for Karn too. Our friends north of border, but that's good investigative reporting out of you, Andy.
Yeah, we are going to go to Sexy Steak on Monday. By the way, if the U.S. advances, we got a USA game on Monday as well.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so we could be going to Sexy Steak and then Tigers. Yeah, but we're gonna be eating at Chicken Tender's place. So,
Hey,
all right. So
as long as it's comped, Andy, I'm good. But here's one thing that I will say is when I saw that we were going to a place, I thought Johnny was saying, "Oh, we're gonna go out and we're gonna have some sexy steaks," and I was like, "Oh, that sounds good. We're gonna have some nice ass steaks." And then he sends a menu, and the place is actually called Sexy Steak. And I was like, "Well, I got to wear my sluttiest outfit, I guess now, Andy. If we're going to Sexy Steak."
I thought the same thing. I thought a sexy.
I thought he was like,
like
"Oh, we're gonna have
recipe.
a sexy steak." Yes,
I thought it's like a Detroit recipe. Like,
yeah,
they
where
make
like
it with
Salt
extra
Bay
cumin.
comes out,
Or
and
like,
yeah. I'm glad I wasn't alone because I was like, "So do we have to dress like skanks for Sexy Steak? Like, what do we do?" But the place is just called Sexy Steak. I checked out the menu. I'm pretty excited for it.
I do not have leather pants. Can you imagine walking around in this heat with leather pants? Oh God,
Andy, we're not the smallest gentlemen in the world. You know what I mean? I don't think leather really agrees with us.
No. So, so Ski is having internet problems. He was going to come in and break down some NBA games, but I do have some notes on the game because I am a dedicated and professional host. But first, we had a 5% best bet that's up in MLB tonight, guys. That's our big play of the day. I was going to make it the free play of the day, and we were like, no, this is like way too good. So we have not had a 5% MLB best bet up all season long. So that's over at wt.buzz/AL. Like, we don't even do that many 5% plays in MLB, period. So to have our first one of the year today, very, very excited about it. Line looks like it's holding pretty strong. And it just checks every single box you want in a 5% best bet. So that's over at WagerTalk.com. I can go, let's go over, let me pull up the NBA games that Ski was going to do. And then a lot of movement in the NBA. And I was going to talk to Ski about it, but Dan, you and I can talk about it. So Ski was going to talk about the Dream and the Mystics and the Wings versus the Sun. The Dream versus the Mystics. Ski and I were talking about the Dream. They were on this incredible run. Ski and I were both high on this team. And then they dropped 3 straight, including a 15-point loss to the Storm. They've had a break. I think they get back on track. There's too much talent on this team. 6 points is a lot. Do I want to lay 6 points on a team that's lost 3 straight? No. But that's the lean that I have. I'm not speaking for Ski at all. Over under 165.5. It's got to be an under with the way the Dream have been playing. So I would lean to the under, but lean to the Dream to cover the spread. And then the Sun. We've been talking about the Sun. This is a bet on team right now. Teddy came on the show and said, hey, when you have a bad team that starts covering, you keep taking them. This is too many points. And the markets agree with me. This opened it up at 8.5. And even with all the World Cup action, it's taken enough money to move it a half point. So they've won 2 straight. Their losses have not been by big margin. They were getting killed in the first part of the year, but not anymore. This is not the same Sun team that we saw at the beginning of the year. The Wings do not impress me that much. This is way too many points. I would gladly take this 8 points. I hope the break didn't kind of interrupt the kind of nice momentum that they had going, but I really think that this is a pretty good one. So I'll take the Sun on that one. Okay, NBA trades. Kawhi to the Raptors. This one confuses me beyond belief. That he said he wanted to go there after not wanting to go there. They gave up more for him now than they did like back when. I don't understand this one at all, Dan. Something stinks about this. The Raptors are giving up 2 players, 2 first-round picks, and 2 second-round picks for a guy that plays occasionally. I just don't. Nothing makes sense. Listen, it makes sense from the Clippers' perspective. Yep. For the Clippers' perspective, I think they got away with highway robbery here. I don't know what did you make anything of this trade? Because I can't figure it out.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is maybe they just really needed a strong arborist in town. You know, that's something that Kawhi brings to the table that not many people do, is that maybe they just need some trees that need to be tended to. But no, I thought the exact same thing, Andy. It feels weird. You know, I feel like in his career, there was always going to be a reuniting of he and the Raptors. But the fashion in which it's happened, I thought it was going to be like a free agency type thing. I'm surprised that you know, they were willing to pull the trigger for such a high amount, but also like with the championship that they have, like Kawhi is a guy who will never have to buy a beer in that town. So bringing him home, trying to get some excitement into the fan base makes sense. It's just that price that doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah. So one thing I have to stop being surprised with things in the NBA, because we'll go to another one. Someone traded for John Morant.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Portland traded for John Morant. Maybe they have another move coming, but you know, they gave up some real assets for John Morant. That's another one that doesn't make sense to me.
Yep.
The Detroit Pistons. I love the signing of John Collins. It looks like they're not going to be able to keep Duran, so they're really, really thin. Them trading Isaiah Stewart I thought that was a massive mistake. He was born to be a Detroit Piston, Dan. Like literally, Isaiah Stewart was born. He came out of the womb in a Detroit Pistons jersey. I hate that they got rid of him, but I think John Collins is underrated. I think there's a lot you can do with him. I think he fits in really well. They still need that second scorer, but as far as athleticism in the front court, I thought Collins was a really, really good sneaky signing for them.
Well, and something that the Pistons needed was just like that, like guaranteed, you know, like 12 spot or more in the lineup. Like when you have a guy who's a floor that what I think he just averaged underneath 14 points last season for a bad team. So I think that's a great piece for Detroit, who just was kind of missing someone with the steady hand, like that consistency that they can guarantee, hey, here's where we're going to get points from. That's not so up, not so down. You know, he also does a pretty good job, you know, underneath the boards for the size that he has as well. So I'm with you. Isaiah, he was signed, sealed, delivered. He was a Pistons, but to fill that hole, this is about as good as you could have done, especially at not a horrible price point either.
We don't have any confirmation exactly what Golden State is trying to do with LeBron, but
dear God,
it just does feel like they are. It just feels like they're going to make a run for it. I can't wait to see how the money's going to work out, because people forget that Jimmy Butler's still on this payroll at a monster number. I don't know how they make the numbers work here. I believe they said LeBron can sign for $6 million a year, which is wild. I think one of my other big takeaways from this is I'm so out on the Los Angeles Lakers. Them going all in on Austin Reeves and Luka. Can I remind you that just in the last playoffs, 41-year-old LeBron was the only one healthy out of those three in the playoffs. He's the one carrying the team. Like
exactly. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree. And also, how about the ultimate dad move by LeBron to wait until the day after Bronny's contract became fully guaranteed to be like, actually, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, and Bronny's like, where are we going to be going, Dad? And LeBron's like, we? What do you mean, we?
We.
Ultimate dad move.
It's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meme.
We.
We.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how I feel about it. I love and hate it all at the same time. The whole Bronny thing.
Dude, we talk about it all the time with think about how many storylines happen in the NBA. We joked about this with Joe Ranieri, like how many storylines happen that, you know, a gambling ring and this, that, and the other completely get overshadowed. Like the NBA is a soap opera, right? So having all of the guys with their final ride, it feels like a Zach Braff movie. It makes sense, Andy. It makes a heck of a lot of sense.
All right. While we were recording the show, the Utah Jazz traded Walker Kessler to the Lakers. I like Walker Kessler. I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Unprotected first-round pick, and pick swaps in 2028 and 30. So there's no players involved. It just looks like it's some picks. 4 years,
Okay.
130 million. That's a good signing from them. So let's see.
Walking
Was there
double-double,
any? Yeah. I mean, DeAndre Jordan keeps how does this guy keep getting contracts? Good for him. Tim Hardaway.
It's impressive.
I got to tell you, I was wondering how the Miami Heat were going to build this team. Oh, we almost had our second goal, Dan. We almost had our second goal.
I know, it was close.
Of the show.
It was close.
I was wondering how are the Miami Heat going to build this roster when they have Bam and Giannis and no assets, and Tim Hardaway Jr. 1 year, $6.5 million with Miami. That's what they got to do. Those are the kind of guys you got to put on your team. So, we talked about USA and Bosnia. I can do a little modified Steam report here. The game that Brian is going to, Cleveland has taken all the monies in that game. A little bit of money coming in on the Yankees, money coming in on Boston. There was a big move in the under in that Texas-Cleveland game. So, opened at 9, now it's down to 7.5. That's a pretty big move. The Mets opened up as a favorite. They are now a dog, so a lot of money coming in on Toronto. And what was it? Was it 2 of the games went over yesterday that were 11.5? The Cubs and Padres went over. Your Phillies did their part in that one. The Pirates bats just went ice cold. So don't see. We have 11s. I don't see 11.5s on the board today. So, all right. I think that's about it. Unless you got any thoughts, any strong opinions on Belgium, Senegal.
Yeah, we'll just run down real quick. One game that we didn't talk about because we're in play in that game, so you can grab the best bet: Belgium and Senegal. This Belgium team, the price is what I just can't get around. Like, everyone is continuing to price this Belgium team like they're some world beater. And because they beat the shit out of New Zealand 5-1. Like, before that, it was 0-0 against Iran, who they conspired to make sure they could get Iran out of the tournament. And it was 1-1 against Egypt. So it's like, if you look at the teams that this team's beaten, Tunisia, impressive win against Croatia. However, they got them on their day. Beat U.S. men's national team. But again, that game didn't really mean much. You have a 7-0 game against Liechtenstein. Does Liechtenstein get you excited to back this Belgium team? I just don't personally think that they should be priced the way that they are. Do they advance? Maybe, but I think this game could be a little bit tighter. This Senegalese side, let's be real, Andy. They lost 3-1 to France, but don't forget, that was our bad beat where we had them covering. Yes. They score in the 95th minute, and Mbappe scores a goal doing what Mbappe does in the 96th minute. Against Norway, 3-2. That's someone to impress. And then they absolutely, when their backs were against the wall, they beat the piss out of Iraq and end up with a 5-0 win. So I think the Senegalese side, because of maybe how they came into the tournament on not all that great of a form run, they're getting discounted a little bit here. So if you're attacking that game, and as I said in that Bosnia and USA game, I'm taking the second half to be higher scoring in that matchup. I think Bosnia's key is keep it low scoring, see if they can counterattack. 5 goals in this tournament have come after the 74th minute. I think they saw what happened in Mexico last night. Don't let a goal concede early, and both teams to score, I think, is in play as well. So some World Cup thoughts for you, Andy, though. Unfortunately, we didn't have Ski. Check him out. He will be on Ski Profit and Profit Picks. Next edition is going to be tomorrow at 1:30.
Wrap it up with the Holland, the Holland Mbappe goal scoring parlay hit yesterday
again.
So I'm looking for what's the next one. It's probably tomorrow. We got Ronaldo
and Messi.
So Ronaldo and Messi, if we parlayed them together, would be
Ronaldo to score and Messi doesn't play.
Messi's minus 215. Good Lord. It gets you to plus 193.
Yucks.
Well,
Yuck.
it's a great point against Cape Verde. You're right.
Yeah. So that's why he's minus 250. Yeah, that's tomorrow's game's not great. Or Friday's games, excuse me, not great. Tomorrow's games are actually pretty good. Spain, Austria, Portugal, Croatia. I think Croatia could be a little bit of a sleeper. Switzerland, Algeria. I think you could see some goals in that one. So we'll obviously break those down. Andy, before we do run though, Congrats, Richie Action 247. You showed us our dinger in the chat. Well done yesterday, my friend. We'll add your free 3-day flex pass. So that was our Dinger Tuesday winner. And Lionel Jesse, you got it done. Goddamn, Lionel Jesse did it again. Matt J 2020, you're going to be our winner. You backed Mexico. You backed it with our man Lionel Jesse. Sorry to those who backed it with me. I'll try and win you one. That's my first care to make it interesting, Andy. 0-1. I need to get that Andy Lang streak going. But Matt, you got your free 3-day flex pass, and that's what it's all about.
Those are going to be added to your plays right after this. So, all right, that's going to do it for it. Like button, drop us a comment below, and we have a 5% best bet that is up in MLB. Don't hesitate. Go grab that one. It's our very first 5% of the year in MLB. So looking forward to cashing that one. Good luck on your bets. We'll be back tomorrow. Yanni's going to join us. We'll start getting ready for the weekend, and we'll have more World Cup. Good luck on your bets. Take care.